Anesthesia is a temporary induced state of one or more of the following: pain relief, paralysis, amnesia, and unconsciousness, which enables painless performance of medical procedures that could otherwise cause intolerable pain. Before 1844, surgeons didn't have much to offer patients other than opium and alcohol to endure the pain of a scalpel, and it was experimented with all sorts of chemical compounds without success. Laughing gas was introduced as an anesthetic in 1844 after being used for entertainment for half a century. Dr. Horace Wells demonstrated laughing gas's anesthetic effect by a patient inhaling it several times, which resulted in the loss of consciousness. Dr. Wells was able to remove a wisdom tooth without causing the patient any pain at all, and was regarded as the pioneer of anesthesia. When inhaled, nitrogen dioxide, the laughing gas, functions in different ways and affects different targets. First, it inhibits NMDA receptors, which are responsible for the influx of ions into the neuronal cell. By inhibiting NMDA, the ability to generate action potential will be reduced. Then, GABA is activated, a major inhibitory neurotransmitter in the nervous system, thus reducing the neuron excitability throughout the nervous system, which in turn leads to less sensitivity to pain. Nitrogen dioxide would also trigger the release of natural painkillers, such as endorphins, which enhances the effect of anesthetics. In early 1846, Dr. Morton, a dentist, purchased bottles of ether and began exposing it to himself and his pets. He was satisfied with the results and began using ether on his dental patients. He soon realized that this was a powerful drug and that it could be used for more than just dental work. In October 1846, Dr. Morton administered an effective anesthetic to a surgical patient. He named the drug lithium, and this inspired surgeons to execute life-saving and invasive procedures. The chemistry of ether as an anesthetic is still poorly understood. Because of ether's strong odor and the large doses required, the quest for a more efficient anesthetic began. Dr. Simpson, an obstetrician, was introduced to the idea of using chloroform as an anesthetic and tried this on himself and his friends, and it proved to be successful. It didn't have a persistent odor, the dosage was smaller than for ethers, and it was cheaper and gave a quicker result on the body. Because of these properties, chloroform became a widespread anesthetic. But it also had a negative side, and it was discovered that a number of physically fit patients died after inhaling it. Therefore, in 1848, Dr. John Snow developed an inhaler that regulated the dosage and so successfully reduced the number of deaths. But one thing was still not possible, and that was local anesthesia, only affecting the specific area to be operated on and not the whole body. In 1884, an eye specialist found the substance cocaine in a cocoa plant native to South America. Cocaine had already been isolated in 1860 by a German chemist, and he stated in a report that when he tasted cocaine, his tongue went numb. Cocaine inhibits and blocks the transporter responsible for the exocytosis of dopamine into the synaptic cleft between two neurons. By reducing the amount of dopamine secreted, the sympathetic neuron system will be inhibited. Thus, the patient will be in a relaxed mood and the threshold for the pain receptors in the body will increase. The eye specialist then started to experiment on animals, friends, himself, and volunteers with this new drug. He made eye drops which contained 2% cocaine and noticed that the eye lost its sensitivity to touch, and he then performed the first surgery using local anesthesia. Because of cocaine's addictive and euphoric qualities, a lot of other local anesthetics have been synthesized, like procaine. Procaine is an ester anesthetic, and it is metabolized in the plasma through hydrolysis into para-aminobenzoic acid, and then excreted by the kidneys into the urine. The synthesis of procaine can take place in two different ways. The first way is the direct reaction of 4-aminobenzoic acid ethyl ester with 2-diethylaminoethanol in the presence of sodium ethoxide. The second way is by oxidizing 4-nitrotoluene to 4-nitrobenzoic acid, which is further reacted with thionyl chloride. The resulting acid chloride is then esterified with 2-diethylaminoethanol, and finally the nitro group is reduced by hydrogenation. Procaine was first synthesized in 1905, and it is still being used today along with many other compounds.